Well, hello everybody, and welcome back to Lisa's Coloring Corner. I have had these sitting under my desk waiting for me to do a swatching video on them, for quite a while now. And I thought, well, let's get to doing this. I'm trying to catch up on a few of my videos that have been sitting here for a while. This is a set of 120 fine liners, and these are by Zenacolor. They do have 0.4 millimeter tips, which is, of course, just a hair bigger than some of the other fine liners that are 0.3. So I am hoping that they will be nice and juicy. I do not know if these are going to have color names, color numbers. I am keeping my fingers crossed. This is the reverse of the box. All different kinds of languages, but it does say 120 unique and vibrant colors, 0.4 millimeter lead for high drawing and coloring accuracy. Offer your creativity, high quality colored fine liners for all levels of expertise. Then it says, share your masterpiece with our community. So Xenacolor is on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. They do have an email, contact@xenacolor.com, and they do have a website, xenacolor.com. Okay, so let's unwrap them and let's take a look. I've been curious, but I wanted to have my first impressions along with you guys. Oh, it looks like they come in a really nice box. So we have this nice heavy-duty cardboard box that has this flip out and it's magnetized. You know what I mean, right? And then, oh, they do have color names. We have them all listed up here in the top, and let's hope that they're on the pens themselves. Oh my gosh. No! Say it isn't so. Oh, crap. No, they're not. Okay, let's zoom in and take a look at them, though. So, it has a black barrel. And we do have the colored cap and the tip. And then it says Xenacolor. And we're probably too zoomed in, and that's why it's fuzzy. And then it just says fine liner 0.4 millimeter. What a bummer. Okay, so I'm not sure if the order in here is going to be the order that's up here in the cover. I'm almost thinking so, at least I hope so. I'm sure I'm going to go through and I am going to number these. Okay, so we do have a couple cards here. 52 free weekly drawings. Visit xenacolor.com/designs. Register within 7 days. Yeah, I'm beyond that. Of receiving your Xenacolor product and get 52 free designs. Well, how do they know when you bought them? And they give you an X. Well, too late now. Or you can scan that QR code. Okay. And then it says, do it yourself color chart. So they do give you a color chart. And they give you a teeny tiny little circle. So you don't have a lot of color to go by. And naturally, I'll be making my own color chart. But yeah, they do all have color names. For instance, we have this very first one is sea green, malachite, mint, turquoise. Boy, I don't think they are going in order. Turquoise, forest green, green, olive. No, they are not going in order. And I'm assuming this is the same as what's in the cover. Yeah. Well, that is another disappointment. Oh my gosh. So you have to kind of figure out what color's what. Alrighty then. So we have the top tray. So we have lots of greens, and then we get into earth tones and a few grays. Then look at the beautiful colors in the second tray. We got a few purples and pinky purple. Looks like some more earth tones, kind of orangey, dark orangey ones. Some more purples, and we get into some blues. And we have some yellows, oranges, a lot more greens. Quite a few blues. And tray number 4. Oh, look at all the pinks. Some reds. Looks like a few more grays. So it looks like there's no order whatsoever to these colors. Like they kind of just threw them in here and said, okay, that looks good. Some more earth tones and some more purples. The set actually looks like it has quite a few purples. Looks like a real dark blue, real dark green, black, and a real dark gray. And I think that would be it, right? Yes. So, I think we're going to swatch these out. What do you think? So, I will not be able to put down, unfortunately, a number or a name to these pens. Oh my gosh, these companies got to realize, you know, we want something, even if it is just a number. We want something. Otherwise, yeah, it's a real big pain in the butt. So, I guess I don't need my pen. I won't be able to write anything down. But we still want to see all the pretty colors, right? So, let me take a sip here quick. This is going to be a long video. Well, maybe not quite as bad because I won't be writing. We'll only be swatching the color. Okay, let's get in here. Okay, let's start right at the front. And this one is dry. Well, I am just getting disappointment after disappointment. So I will try to get this one going with some water, because of course these are water-based. And I sure hope the rest of them are nice and juicy. This one, no, it's not the best either. Well, now it's getting going. Yeah, now it's okay. So far, I would not say the juiciest. Oh, this one isn't bad, though. I can't help but compare them to my absolute favorite, which is the Arteza Ink Onyx. And those are the juiciest ones I have ever colored with. So these definitely are not as juicy as those, but these are much more budget friendly than those too. And now this one is nice and juicy. They're not real bad. And I think these would work great for what I bought them for, which is, of course, well, not just, but the Belba family X method. Now that one is quite dry too. Boy, I am disappointed. And I may be writing to them. Now this one is really nice and juicy. Boy, if they would all be like that. Ugh. Because, yeah, if most of them are quite dry, especially like the first one, yeah, I'm going to be writing to them. Oh my gosh, these are nice and juicy. I wish they would all be like that. Yeah, these last two were awesome. Here's a really pale color. And this one is not as juicy, but it's a beautiful pale blue. Ooh, this looks like a pretty color, like an ultramarine. Now this one's nice and juicy. Well, kind of, sort of. So if we just... Now it's not as bad if you're just writing with them. So maybe it's with me going back and forth too fast. Because otherwise, and you can't even see what I'm doing, you know, if you're just writing, you know, or something with them, they're fine. This one was juicier though, so let's see. Yeah, see, now this one's okay. Let's see how many are okay and how many aren't. Because, I love the box they're in. This one is not real great. And I don't want to, you know, lie to you guys and say something's fantastic when it's not. This one's not bad. They are very fine liners. I thought with being 0.4 millimeter tips, and this one's nice. I mean, I know that there's really not much of a difference between a 0.3 and a 0.4. There's a pretty, like a burnt ochre. Actually, the caps, from what I can see, actually match up pretty good. See, and that one's really nice and juicy. It's kind of like hit and miss, I guess. Which is kind of sad. We'll see how the rest of it... See, here's another dry one. Not completely, but... That one's not the juiciest. Oh, boy. But the colors that I've seen so far, yeah, this one is not juicy. Boy, yeah, I think I'm going to just have to write to the company. I was hoping, well, this one's not bad, that maybe, you know, it was just kind of a couple, and I would have just tried to get those going. But this one's not real bad. Yes, I'm a little disheartened. Oh, now this one is super juicy. Gosh, I wish they were all like that. Holy cow, that's a nice one. It's kind of like a reddish brown. That one's not bad either. Another kind of reddish brown. Looks real similar. And this one's drier again. Darn. This one's pretty juicy. Now we are going into some gray. So here's like a blue gray. That one's not the best. We'll just go through this top tray, and then I'm just going to, now that one's really nice and juicy. Then we're just going to pick out a few here and there, and we're going to see how they are. Here's a warm gray. That one was nice and juicy. How many times have I said the word juicy now in this video? That one's nice. The grays are all good. My least favorite color. Oops. Oh, my head ain't in the way. Yeah, another juicy one. So all the grays are fantastic, except for like the blue gray up there. So I'm going to take this tray out. So that's the top tray. Let's check on some of my purples. Oh, that one's really juicy. That is beautiful. Maybe it was just the top tray. Ah, these are juicy. Top tray get dried out or what? It's not a good thing. And look at how juicy these are. That's a beautiful color. I mean, if this is the case, I'm still writing to them. Yes, these are nice. Wow. What the heck, right? Yeah, these are, that's a beautiful pale yellow, right? We have a few more pale yellows. Some of these are so pale, you'll probably barely be able to see them. Well, you can, yeah. Very similar. There's a real pale lemon yellow. Wow, I am just floored by how juicy this layer is. Yep, said that. And then this one, it's not bad, but it's not quite like what the others were. I gotta learn to shut my mouth. Oh, isn't that pretty? Again, really nice and juicy. But I do want to let them know, you know, they always want feedback from their customers, so I will give them some feedback. Okay, let's go up to column 2. I guess we will go ahead and swatch these out. That one wasn't quite as juicy as the others. Not bad, but yeah, similar as the prior one. Plus they're similar in color, which I guess in 120 fine liners you're going to run into that. That's a pretty color. Lots of dark oranges and earth tones coming up. That was another really nice juicy one. And another one. Oh, that's a pretty color. It's almost like a deep, deep coral. So looks like we have a few oranges and reds coming up. This one is not that juicy. Juicy, juicy. Oh, this one is. That's a pretty orange, red orange. So far, I would say there's a, well, that one is pretty much dried out completely. I would say not half, but probably close to it are on the dry side. That one was pretty good. So we'll see what do we come across here. That one's a little bit drier. It's a nice darker red. This one looks like it should be a true red, and that's a nice juicy one. Now we're going into some like magenta, purpley pinks. That one's not too bad. I'll tell them. And by the way, please add the color names on the pens themselves. We have a few purples here. Little on the dry side, not too bad. And I love that color. Oh, now this one is really nice and juicy. And this one's really good too. Now we get into some blues. That one's good. Yeah, kinda. Not too bad. That one's, well, it started good. Yeah. Okay. Just skipped a little bit there. Looks like another light blue. Very pale blue. I don't know if you can even see that one. Oh yeah, I guess you can a little. Couple more in this tray. That's very juicy. Really nice one. Again, I wish they were all like that. Then I'd say, ooh, this is an awesome set of fine liners. This one's drier again. But again, they are close to the color of the caps, which is always nice, especially if you don't swatch out your coloring supplies. This is a nice one. Got a couple pinks here. Then we'll get into some yellows. That one's not bad. Here's a real pale, pale pink. Oh, and that's really nice too. It's a yellow orange. Oh, that was really nice. And that one's good. I'll quit with the word juicy. Good or bad. That one's good, that one's bad. Or that one's dry. That one's good. Here's a real deep orange. Oh, that one's really good. This one looks to be like a bright orange. It's pretty. Pretty yellow. This looks like a really sunny yellow. Yeah, like a fluorescent yellow. So these have been pretty good so far. Ooh, this looks like a pretty teal. Oh, this is a really good one. Yeah, boy, it's unfortunate that they aren't all like that. That one's okay. What a beautiful array of colors, though. That one's good. A few greens now. Quite a number of greens. That one's okay. Again, I think, you know, if you... And some of it I don't think is the fact that they aren't juicy. I think it's the tip. Because I run across it even with Artezas and Conics. If the tip is, for some reason or another, just either a teeny bit off or it's a teeny bit smaller, they're not... The ink doesn't come out of them as easily, you know what I mean? So that could be some of these too. Might be a combination of problems. Well, it's not too bad. Looks like a pretty spring green. No. So this one's off a little, and it is drier. Well, yeah, it is darker than the cap. That one's good. That's like your standard green. one's not too bad. This next one looks like a fluorescent green. Yep, that's what it is, but it is a little on the drier side. And that one's quite dry. I'm not making any brownie points with this company, am I? Let's go up to the last column. This looks to be a pretty powder blue. Oh, that one is awesome. That is a nice one. Nope, I won't say it. And this one's okay. Darn it all. What a bummer. That one's okay. You know, it probably would be good if I didn't compare them to the ones that are so nice and, yes, I'll say it, juicy. Like this one. Oh my gosh. And that's a beautiful color. I love all the colors in here. And that one's really nice. Here we get into some darker blues now. That one's okay on the dry side. Which is unfortunate because it's a nice dark navy blue. Here's another one though, and this one's much better. Like a denim blue. And this one's nice. It's like a royal blue. That one's almost the same. Little bit lighter. A little bit more tinge of a purple to it, maybe. And here's a very dark midnight blue, and that one was nice. Okay, let's go on to the last tray, and we have a bunch of pretty pinks. That one's okay. That one's nice. It's not bad. That one's okay. Drier. Yeah, that one's quite dry. So is that one. Not real bad, but not quite as bad as the previous one. Oh, and this one's good. Oh, and this one is really nice. That's a pretty pink, too. Okay, now we have a couple of reds. They just thought they'd throw in here. That one's on the drier side. And then what looks to be a standard red. Oh, and this one isn't bad. That one's pretty good. Then we have a few warm, well, a brown and some warm grays. And this one's completely dried out. Wow. This looks like to be a warm gray or like a walnut brown. Yeah, more of a walnut brown. Here's a couple grays. On the drier side. And them grays in the top tray were nice and, yeah. they were good. So we have a cool and a warm gray there. And we have some earth tones. Quite dry again. Oh, what a disappointment. And I hope it didn't have anything to do with sitting under my desk completely dry for the period of time that it did, but it shouldn't, you know. Number one, it was wrapped. And number two, whether they were sitting under my desk or I was already, you know, had swatched them. Whoops, we're down here. And that one's really nice. They shouldn't be dry like this. Whether I used them once or a dozen times, they shouldn't be dry. That one's good. That's a pretty light brown. I'm hoping this is a nice tan. Yeah. Kind of on the yellow side. Here we have some more purples on the drier side, but that's a pretty color. That one's not too terribly bad. Not too bad. Not the best, but yeah, this one's quite dry. So I would say over half are on the drier side. That one's on the drier side. Where maybe, you know, well, there were, how many now that were completely dry? 3 of them. Ugh, and then this one's awesome. Why, people? Why? Oh, gosh. Now, I think I went over one twice. Where I had a dry one, and then, like I almost did here. I must have done that somewhere. Now, this one's awesome, too. Nice dark blue. Then a dark green, because I have one square too many here. Dry. And that's a pretty green, too. See, now, it seems, see, now, see, that's what I'm thinking. It has more to do with the tip. Now it seems fine, you know. Yeah. This is your black, which, yeah, is not the juiciest. And then a dark gray, which is fine. Well, it's okay. So, those are all the colors. Like I said, comes in this nice case. Just very disappointing that the colors, the names, aren't on the barrel of the pen. So let's look at these colors. I think they're gorgeous. There are a couple that are very similar. But for the most part, considering it's a 120 set of fine liners, you know, this one's lighter than that, so they're not exactly the same. These two do look exactly the same, though. Not a lot of skin tones, but I don't know if you're looking for skin tones in fine liners. It's always nice to have skin tones, though, and so, you know, could maybe do without some of these blues. Some of that are, you know, the ones that are kind of similar. But, yeah, I think, boy, awesome color range. Yeah, again, there's not too many that look real similar. You know, these two maybe. Could maybe use a few more, well, you know, a couple more yellows, maybe oranges, reds. It doesn't seem a little limited in reds, maybe. Pinks there's plenty of. Purples for a change, there's quite a few of. It's one of the very few sets where I've actually seen quite a few purples. Blues, greens, not a ton of grays, which is fine with me. Quite a few earth tones. Yeah, so I am going to contact Xenacolor, and I'm going to let them know that, yeah, 3 or 4 of them were completely dried out, and over half the set is quite dry. There is, I don't know how many, maybe 25, 20 that were really nice and juicy. I'll have to maybe kind of go through and count them, just so I have a more accurate idea when I do contact them. But anyhow, if I do hear back from them, I will mention something in a coloring chat, maybe post something on the community board. I'll have to see. I'll admit, you know, I'm hoping they'll get back to me. So this is the swatching of the Xenacolor. Now, could maybe be only my set. I don't know if all sets are like this. I will leave a link to these down in the description below. I know, you know, from what I experienced with these, you may be put off on purchasing these. But again, maybe it was just my set. I don't know. It seemed to get rather good reviews, so, you know, that's why I went ahead and bought them. Can always use more fine liners, right? So, well, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed the swatching. If you did, please hit that like button and subscribe if you're new to my channel. I hope everybody's having a terrific day. And as always, happy coloring. Bye, guys.